be shaking hands with Coach Krzyzewski. So that opportunity was like really eye-opening. I was just like, okay, this is a great place to be. Maybe I shouldn't really stress about that schoolwork because in the end, I knew I would get it done, but I was just a little bit uptight about needing to get it done. And so, yeah, those opportunities have like helped me in terms of like not taking those things as seriously, but and being able to like take a little time off as well as like organize myself a little bit more ahead of time.
Would you be able to summarize in like one sentence what the
Yeah.
Dream to Achieve Award is?
So that focuses on like students who put in.
Oh, and can you answer in a complete sentence?
Yes. The Dream to Achieve Award is awarded to students here at the Emily K Center who strive to do well academically and achieve very high, I guess I'd say, standards in terms of that. And I guess at that point I was just attributed to the fact that I was applying to the School of Science and Math, and in doing so I was actually able to get a really, or at least a good score for an incoming sophomore on the SAT. And so that paired with all of the activities that I was doing at school and my ability to maintain those grades allowed me to get that award.
Wow, so cool. I want to go back to the stuff that you've been able to do through the center. So you talked about like the camp and the hands-on learning activities, and I'm hoping you can kind of tell me, and again, not necessarily go into too much detail here, but what, hold on, let me think about how to ask you this. It sounds like you may not have had access to those opportunities had it not been for the center. So I guess what I'm looking for here is either an affirmative, like I wouldn't have had those opportunities, if that is true. If you could maybe speak to
Yes,
that.
it's true. Without the center, I don't think I would have had access to those opportunities, mostly because I wouldn't have started looking for them in the first place, right? Because of my counselor here and the encouragement that they've always given me, I've taken the time out of my day to actually look these opportunities up, get the applications done, and report back to them how I'm doing. And I guess it's because of that, like, I'd actually see my counselor more as a mentor because of that assistance that they've always given me, that support. I've also had the confidence to take those extra steps.
Yeah, I love that. That was great. That was a great answer. I'm kind of jumping all over the place because I do want to like go back to some other stuff, but can you talk about your plans for the future? And I would love it here. Now I don't want you, because I know you haven't, it's not like you have everything nailed down, but you are going to college, right?
Yes, I'm definitely going to college.
So can you talk about that a little bit?
Okay, so my most immediate plans for the future are to go ahead and knock out the Common App, as well as start applying to these schools and hopefully eventually attend one of my top choices that would have a major in biomedical engineering, so that I could start getting involved in learning more about that career. And at this point, it's something that I definitely want to dedicate myself to. But I know that because my main interest was engineering to begin with, the schools that I will be applying to also have other programs. And so if I decide to change my mind, I think I'm okay with that. And I'll definitely have the support here that will allow me to take those steps. And in terms of like post that, I would definitely just love to be in a career that I enjoy. Hopefully meet the MLK's goal and graduate college with no debt. That's definitely my plan. I do not want to have to pay for all this stuff after.
Can you talk about your dream job, even if you're not getting into the specifics?
Okay. Ideally, my dream job would be somewhere I would enjoy. It would have a combination of like low stress working periods, as well as like the very rigorous challenges. And that's just because as an individual, I don't enjoy sitting around a lot. And so that's where me and my tendency to like play around with things comes into play. I want to have the ability to be able to do side projects, but also when the time comes to like focus on my work. And so I guess as a career, I'd be looking for something that would allow me that freedom intermittently, right? So that I wouldn't be, I guess I'd say caged up. You know, I personally just like to be doing things, and so that's what I'm looking for.
I'm wondering if you can get even maybe just a little bit more specific. Like if I were a college application or an admission counselor and I was interviewing you, and I said, Leah, what do you want to do when you graduate from our school?
I'm just gonna think on that.
Yeah,
Just to make sure. So I say that like ultimately I'd like to be able to help people, right? And through my career, I'd like to be able to develop either like technologies or solutions to problems that we're facing today, so that later on down the road, people would implement those solutions into like their daily lives, and that would really tie into me researching those issues, developing those solutions, and then reaching out to the communities that like would need them. And so really it would be the career that I'd like to have is one that would allow me to give back to the world around me, right? Because it's helped me get to the point where I am now, and I would like to improve it before I go, right?
That's a great answer. Can you, I know we've already talked about this, but so we have it, could you summarize like what your main interests are right now?
Mm-hmm.
My main interest right now is?
My main interests right now are engineering in general. If I were to be more specific, it would be biomedical engineering. And that's just because it takes my two passions, engineering and biology, and mixes them together. And it also pertains to like healthcare issues, which have recently like gotten on my radar because of family events.
Can you say a little bit more about that?
Mm-hmm. Those family events pertain to my mom's stroke 2 years ago now, 2 summers ago now, while she was giving birth to my baby brother Angel. The stress associated with that, as well as other stress that had built up before that, just culminated into a stroke. And so after that, since then, she hasn't been able to use the right side of her body, the dominant side of her body, to its full extent. And because of that, she was hospitalized for maybe 2 months while she was recovering. As of now, she still isn't able to communicate as effectively as she used to, but she's getting to the point where her words aren't completely slurred like they were the first couple of weeks. And she's actually able to take care of Angel, which was her biggest hope in like her recovery. she just wanted to be able to take care of her children again. And though she's not able to work anymore and won't be able to, it's definitely good that she's able to take care of my younger siblings now, because at this point, that's all she wanted to do, continue to do that. And because of the stroke, that got me really involved in biomedical engineering, because currently there's lots of research being done about strokes, about like making the recovery process easier for those who have suffered for it, or preventing them in general. And if I could make some contribution that would allow for that, that's something I want to be able to do.
Your mom must be so proud of you.
I hope she is.
I want to come back. I'm going to want to ask you a little bit more about family, but I also was hoping to go back to what you were saying about, your future and what your plans look like. So how has your perception of your future changed since you got involved in the Emily K Center? If you could try to answer that in a complete sentence, that would be
Okay.
great.
My perception about my future has changed dramatically since coming to the MLK. And that's because prior to the MLK, I wasn't necessarily focused on it, right? At that point in time, I wasn't looking forward to the future. I was more involved in, my friends and wanting to have fun. But at this stage in my life, I've definitely been able to establish more solid goals for myself. And the MLK has helped me in doing that, because through the opportunities that I've had, I can now see myself taking advantage of those opportunities and going further with them. So I've definitely gotten a more solid idea of what my future is going to be like through my experiences here.
I love that. What has it meant for you to get that support and mentorship and encouragement from the staff here at the center?
That support has mostly been really effective in terms of the mental, the psychological, and the emotional aspect of things. While all these different things were going on, I always had someone that I could reach out to and let know, exactly what my situation was like, what I needed, and most times it was there, right? I had the safe space to be able to come and have those conversations without having to worry about putting myself out there too much, right? Because of the comfort that it's provided me, I've been able to tackle these challenges more effectively, right? Without it, I feel like I would have been on my own. And because I'm not on my own, and because I've been reminded that I'm not, I've definitely been able to cultivate a sense of confidence that has allowed me to move forward.
Yeah, I keep hearing that a lot from, we interviewed a parent, a mom, a couple of nights ago. She talked about the confidence that her daughters have gained. I want to go back and make sure that, I can't remember if at the beginning of that sentence you said the staff at the Emily K Center. So could I have you say one sentence something like the staff at the Emily K Center have been supportive?
The staff at the Emily K Center has been very involved in providing me with all kinds of support, whether it was emotional, psychological, or even academic. They've always helped me by giving me different perspectives on how to tackle these different issues and address them in the most effective ways so that I could come out on top. And because of their support, I've grown as an individual.
Nailed it. it occurred to me that I didn't really get you to introduce yourself. So I was hoping that you could say your name and say what year, grade you are, and where you're going to school.
Yeah.
2 or 3 sentences.
My name is Leonel Rangel Jimenez. I am currently a junior at the North Carolina School of Science and Math.
Can you go through it one more time?
Okay. My name is Leonel Rangel Jimenez. I am currently a junior at the North Carolina School of Science and Math.
Awesome. Can you tell me a bit about your family? What is your home life like?
I live in a very large family. I have 5 siblings, and I've had like very different experiences with each individual one. But I definitely love every single one of them. At this point in time, because of my mom's stroke, it's the financial like aspects of taking care of the younger ones has fallen on my older siblings. And that's mostly because around the same time that my mom had her stroke, another very unfortunate situation happened where my dad was deported. And so luckily it didn't happen during the school year because we had that entire summer to start planning and allowing for my older sister and older brother to adjust to that. But since then it's gotten to the point where financially we're okay, we're fine. And my family has been able to stick together throughout all of that, which I really appreciate because whenever I go home, it's never like I was away, right? Despite the fact that I live at NCSSM, knowing that I'm like very close to home is very reassuring because I can quickly make my way back in case, you know, my little sisters have some type of event at their school, or particularly Sudi has like a gymnastics competition, or Karen has some type of chorus concert, or maybe they just need my help in terms of like certain math problems, and I've never really lost that connection with them. In fact, I think since then our connection has gotten a lot stronger. And the only person that I'm leaving out at this point is my baby brother. His name is Angel, and he's really been like the highlight of everything at this point. He's about to turn 2 years old, April 25th, and I think his presence has really helped us in terms of like being or trying to be a family that will help him grow, right? And so everyone chips in. It's not just my older sister and my older brother, Myra and Giovanni, who are taking on these big roles, but it's also the younger siblings. Whenever the older siblings need it, we'll either babysit each other or we'll help mom with preparing meals so that we don't have to worry about you know, waiting for the older siblings to get home. And so we're a very like cooperative family. We help each other out as much as we can, whenever we can. And despite everything that we've been through, like, I'll take a step back. Despite everything that we've been through, and being separated in certain ways, we've always found ways to like come back together. Even though our dad is no longer with us, we still communicate with him through FaceTime. We still keep him involved in everything that we're doing. And some of the ways that we do that is we always send him pictures. This past Easter, we all came together and we sent him photos of what everyone's doing, how they're getting involved in their like academic pursuits or their athletic events and things like that. So we've never really like left each other out, which I think is very nice.
I love that you're in a big family.
Yeah.
So just so I understand, so did your mom immigrate from